Just waiting on a game, guys. Hope y'all are having a good day. Let's see who we got going on. If you guys are here, please feel free to let me know in the chat. I'd love to know who's here. Daunted. To be or not to be, that is the question. Well, we are of the B stream. We're just waiting for a game to be ready. It's looking. We're trying to get Exo Striker versus Last Surprise. That was the one Miguel recommended to us. There's a massive cannon on my screen and it's staring at me. Yeah, because Xeno, if he ever gets eliminated, will be joining us here on the B stream as my co-caster and then my replacement. As I have to leave at a certain point, to which I am severely sorry. I did not know that I was going to have to leave when I agreed to this, and then yesterday found out I was going to have to leave halfway through, so I feel really bad. And hope I can make it up in some way, somehow, at some point. Thank you, Gogo, for the follow. Here, I don't like where the alerts are. Let's make those bigger, but thank you for the follow, my man. Let's see. Yeah, I did. On round 1, I'm giving the most closed. We can play Miguel, and furthermore, it's not a PvP. You know, in Alpha X tournaments, we have mostly PvPs. Yeah. Aw, thanks, Daunted. I appreciate that. Everyone needs a love. I love you. I love you. But yeah, we're just waiting for players to get underway and we'll be ready to go. I'm excited. I'm getting to cast 2 days in a row. It's a good time, and I casted on my own channel earlier this week, so it's 3 casting events in 1 week. I haven't done that in forever. It's so fun. It's so good. I just have to. It's been good because I've been having some anxiety when it comes to streaming too for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I haven't done it in so long. You have hot cocoa. I have water, maple syrup. So, you know what, guys? You know how Swag's doing his whole eggnog drinking thing when someone donates? Well, guess what? You can tell me what has to happen for me to drink my maple syrup, and I'll do it. Yeah, I will. We're going into the first game, guys. Oh, and I also have sour cherry cola bottles. And friends. Look at all my friends. Look at them all. Oh, I have the Ling. I still have to name the Ling. I don't know what to name him. And one probe is named Lieutenant Maple Moose. The other is new, and I don't know what to name him either. But so if you have name suggestions for the Ling and the other probe, let me know. But yeah, if you have any, also if you have any suggestions on what has to happen for me to drink maple syrup, I will do it. My keyboard needs to be cleaned. Holy cow. Yeah. Oh, we're going. Go. We're getting ready. Game 1 is beginning. Switch the music. And switch the overlay. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a little out of position. Yeah, that's a little better. Alright, I'm trying to see. Okay, in-game sound is good. Carbot, yeah dude. It's the Carbot StarCraft's mod in-game music. So it's game music, so it's totally legit to be played. Because Twitch rules say any in-game game music is a-okay, and this is game music. I bought the MP3 files. We are good to go. And you know what else is good to go? This game, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first series on the B stream of the Alpha X MVP Cup Christmas Edition 2019. We have ourselves a PVT. Let's get into it. In the bottom right of Simulacrum, it is the Yellow Protoss Exo Striker. And the man with a cheeky little proxy racks, not a 2-racks, proxy 2-racks, mind you. In the purple, the Terran player, it's Last Surprise, who's having the first surprise of this series. Probe's gonna see just a normal Barox and try and tickle the SCV, but another SCV comes to protect his brother. This is always funny how whenever there's 11 workers here, there's this weird little glitch right there. So we have a tech lab being added on and a supply depot nonetheless too. A proxy supply depot, not something you commonly see in StarCraft 2. Last Surprise playing this off very much like a trying to expand. The Marine is gonna kill the probe. The probe did not see the command center going down. Is Exo Striker gonna sniff this out? The Cybernetics core is gonna go down. He knows that there isn't a Reaper coming across the map and is gonna go Stalker first. But we have concussive shells. Dun dun dun. A little tricky play. Music's a little loud. Let's turn it down a little. There we go. Let's turn down a little bit. Okay, so we have 2 Marauders out right now. Back at home, it's just going to be Marines out of this barracks. So it's not going to be a double barracks Marauder play, but the Marauders are ready to rumble. The concussive shells is complete, and a singular Stalker with 2 shield batteries. Exo Striker is sniffing something, but SCVs are here to immediately targeting down the pylon, but a shield battery is able to spawn in time just to be able to save the pylon. The probes are pulled off the line, but with a singular... now there are 2 Stalkers here. The Robo back in the main is not quite yet complete. SCVs are dying. One of the Marauders is almost getting zapped to death, but with excellent micro, Last Surprise is able to save it. Going for the pylon, and Exo Striker not microing to save the pylon. The shield batteries are rendered useless now. The Stalkers have fallen. And now a bunker is going to be thrown down here, and the Natural must be surrendered. An Immortal is being chronoed out faster than Usain Bolt can run the 100-meter race. The Terran units are now moving into the main, though, saying that there's no point in just killing the Natural right now. Probes are being pulled off the line to try and protect. More and more probes are going to fall. Exo Striker is now down in probes. The Marine, the stutter stepping is good. A lot of Marines are in the red, but none of them quite healing. The SCVs are repairing themselves. A really cool thing to see. 7 total probes have gone down so far. More and more... no more units are joining the fray over here. The bunker is complete, and a Big Daddy Immortal is out, and we'll be able to shut down and push up into the main, but the Natural is under heavy fire. Back at home, we do have a starport going down. A factory has been complete and just now continuing that unit production. The barracks back here, Will is trying to produce things, but supply blocked is Exo Striker and is not building any supply depot. Is a very awkward situation as he's entirely focused over here on taking out this base. Natural will fall for Exo Striker. Down 10 workers at the same time too, as well as supply. Exo Striker feeling this is not the way to go. GG, and Last Surprise is going to take game number 1. It is the last surprised Exo Striker would have imagined. 100% agree. Snoopy, Xeno looking good and shiny today. Yeah, he is. And he'll be joining us soon. He's currently warping in. It takes a little bit of time. Alrighty. So that was game number 1, guys. That was a nice way to start it off. Nice and spicy. I once played a Terran. What was his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. It was in JSL, but played each other in the quarterfinals, and it went to game 3, and he just kept calling it such a spicy series all throughout it. We were just trying to trick one another out the wazoo. He's warping in on a slow pylon, so don't expect him before tomorrow. It's so true, but it's okay. I've got a warp prism coming to speed up the process soon. That warp prism's name is Starkiller. Xeno is playing Starkiller in the first round. And then it looks like Xeno. Well, whoever loses the Starkiller Xeno game will go and play Kyojin in the loser's bracket, as Kyojin is already lost to Rodzin. Actually, Kyojin didn't show up or something, or maybe he just left. Alright, here we go. Going into game number 2. Things are getting ready. It's loading up. LOL. Okay. Let's switch the overlay, and here we go, guys. Welcome back to game number 2 of this best of 3 in the top left corner. Oh, is alerts? Oh, alerts is hidden. Oh no, can I quickly show it before? Oh, Paladinomer, thank you for the follow, sir. Appreciate it. Oh, I think that's on the main. I think those are the alerts for the main page. Oh no. Well, thank you to him for following on normal Alpha X. I don't have a separate scene collection for Alpha B, I now just realized. But we'll figure that out later. Yeah, this is... So I'll have to fix that after this. I didn't realize. Yeah. Whoops. It's always something that you forget when you're in the production stuff. I always forget something. One day I'll figure it out. I hope. In the top left of Ephemeron, down 1-0, it is Exo Striker. And sneaking an SCV roundabout. What's he gonna drop here? He's gonna do the same build again. I don't know, he's got a lot of money banked up. I don't know what he's looking for here, but let's introduce him here. It's the bottom right, the Purple Terran Last Surprise. With a Team Liquid thing. That looks really cool, actually. I've not seen that before. Okay. So he's got the barracks down. He's building a marine again. This SCV has been here for a while. It's ready to go. Is it going to be a proxy factory? It's going to be like proxy tanks or something? Okay. I'm going to drop the CC. Yeah, okay. Drops the CC. Team thing looks less cool than the Dragon decal. Well, yeah, but we've seen the Dragon decal before, so why would I point that out? We already know it. We all have it. But we don't all have this, and I've never seen it before, so I'm going to comment on it. And yeah, okay, so it's Proxy Factory, but oh my goodness, the probe! Let's see, how many is that? 1, 2, 3. 3 of these squares away from seeing the Proxy Factory. Oh my gosh, he's going to kick himself. Oh man. Now, it's either going to be for Widow Mines or tanks. Back at home, Last Surprise is getting a bunker and second gas. Over on the Protoss side of the map, we're just seeing normal play out of him. Getting 2 shield batteries again. Exo Striker feeling a little hesitant on, not as confident on the aggressiveness of Last Surprise, so is preemptively protecting himself. So that is a tech lab. So I still think it's going to be tanks. So double factory. Oh, I mean, I guess it could be Cyclones, but I don't see why it would be. We don't have quite enough money yet for anything to be built. And yep, tanks. Okay, proxy tanks, like I had predicted. And Reactored Marine's just out of this, so it's going to be Marine tank push. Unlikely to be scouted, so is it going to be another tech lab on here? Yeah, okay, another tech. So double proxied tanks. The SCV is sticking around, though. Whatever for? Is it going to be a starport? I don't know. We'll have to check back a little later. We do have Stalkers over here. The initial tech of choice will be a Robo for Exo Striker. He's going to chrono out Immortals. Feeling the pressure, so he's potentially going to have the tools to deal with this. Charge slots would be preferred to the scenario, but Immortals will fare decent against tanks as well. But with double tank production, will it though? Will it though? I don't know. But back at home, Last Surprise has nothing to really be seen, but Exostriker's not scouting this. He hasn't gotten a read on his opponent's base for a long time because he has no sentries for the hallucinate. Well, he has one sentry, but that's a bit more recent. It doesn't even have enough energy for hallucination. It will very soon, but I don't know if that's going to be in time. Back over here, where you have 3 tanks popping out now with 4 and 5 on the production tab. So it's looking like, though, the time has come to move out, but ironically, the time has also come for Exostriker. He's going to see, he's going to catch the Marines and SCVs off guard, but he has not yet seen the tanks. He does not know the full extent to which his push is coming. He's going to retreat back into the protection of the shield batteries. Going to be building another one, and cancels the Robo Bay, actually, and is just going to be chronoing out Immortals. Jumping on top of things before the siege tanks can siege up. One of them immediately falls. Bunker's going down, but not able to get on top of the other ones. The other 2 are taking excellent shells off. No hallucination means that there is Guardian Shield. Most of the Marines have died, but so has most of the Protoss army. The siege tanks, 2 of them now fall, but 2 more have joined the fray. We're back up to a total of 3. The bunker looks like it will complete. The other SCVs have died except for this one remaining guy. He'll be able to tell stories after this. That SCV is gonna start to repair. The one singular Marine is gonna be joined by 2 more. Another Immortal is here. The War Prism Micro is gonna be really good. The Zealots are here to try and tank and distract the fire, but without charge, they can't really get on top of things. The siege tank pressure is just too much. One of the siege tanks did fall, but we do have reinforcement tanks being built. We have a starport and 2 more barracks behind this. Last Surprise is not looking to completely close this game. He is willing to make a transition. He's gathered more SCVs to the side of the map, though, putting him down to 32, but not all of the mining. Is going to be building 2 more bunkers, continuing 3 more bunkers. Hallelujah! Just continuing to push forward. A scan goes to be able to let the siege tank start to attack things on top. He does still have the cybernetics core, which is nice, but he's going to be losing a gateway. Back in the main, he does have 5 gateways, way too far away from things to really go south. He does still have Immortal at nearly full health, 3 shield batteries, and a second Immortal nearly out, but that is 5 total siege tanks. The leapfrogging is beginning. There's so many barracks being moved forward. The SCVs, though, but here comes the Protoss army. Exostriker saying now is the time to strike. Tons of Zealots and probes are moving forward. 16 probes are going down. The siege tanks raining fire, but will it be enough? Most of the siege tanks have actually fallen. There's a couple of bunkers that remain full of Marines, but there's a lot of Protoss here. The one tank putting in so much work here, but I think that Exostriker is going to be able to hold and live, but at what cost? 17 workers have gone down. He's killed all the SCVs that have joined the party over here. So Last Surprise is going to go home now, but still, well, go home with nothing from this attack, but killing off tons of workers. Now has a worker lead on even bases. Exostriker feeling now is the time to scout, and he finds the double proxy factories. The factories immediately cancel what they're building and lift off. The Protoss army isn't even going to try and attack them from that point. They're going to try and flank from the south, prevent them from being able to get home. There is enough stalkers here to take out at least 1, if not more. Actually, Exostriker is going to completely ignore the factories altogether and start to move towards the natural base of Last Surprise. Last Surprise does have a siege tank. Still no charge, though, or blink, so the stalkers are just going to have to try. The repair going down on the bunker is sufficient. The Warp Prism, though, here is going to be able to provide a lot. Siege tank does go down. It's just our bunker with 4 Marines left against all this Protoss, and with poor man's blink, the stalkers are going to be able to take out the bunker, but the SCV pull and the Immortal going means that the Protoss army is going to have to back up. The forges lifted, the factories landed ahead to provide a sort of wall to help. There are Marauders now in this group to be able to help deal with this amount of stalkers. Another Immortal has joined the party. SCVs are repairing. This bunker is not going to go down anytime soon. The more warpins happening of stalkers and a zealot here. The factories being positioned in very unsure positions. The Terran force is going to go up here, recognizing that Exostriker has a War Prism, wants to go in here. The bunker, though, is in a lot of trouble. There's multiple bunkers being put down here, though. The repair is going to go down, but it's not going to be enough in time. The army is very exposed. It's going to try and retreat into the next bunker. The Protoss army does have more than have about double the army supply. Immortal doing really good, and the Warp Prism Micro is excellent. Not able to get on top of it. Last Surprise taps out. GG, and Exostriker is going to force it to Game 3. The music not super appropriate for the situation, but brilliant hold by Exostriker there. Last surprise, pulling a fast one on him. But Exostriker was prepared, and the gamble of expanding before building up enough army to defend paid off, and just made the right calls, was incredibly patient, and did very, very well. If we look back at the bracket, Starkiller did win over Xeno, so Xeno is now going in against Kyojin. We'll see how he fares there. We can see if they're actually in that game already. I have no idea. I'll message Xeno and see if he's playing Kaio. See what the game plan is there. But here we go, guys. We're ready to go into game 3. The game is loaded. We'll be going into Nightshade, the one map I will consistently veto. Not because I don't like the layout, but more I just don't like how dark it is. Typically, I don't ever dislike a map. I actually don't like having to veto maps because I never really have problems with any of them. Whether that's because of my lack of skill or I'm just cool playing on whatever, who knows. Xeno says that Kaio isn't here, so is MIA. But guys, the music's hype, so let's go into the game. Tied the series last game 1-1. It is the one, the only Exostriker. And he's got an SUV out, moving across the map. It's the Purple Terran, who doesn't leave us unsurprised. It's the one, the only, Last Surprise. Let's see what the game plan is. There's a second SCV that's popping on over. It's going to be a double Rax. Well, some of the music for this is pretty hype, but it's hard to time the music. Like, you can't time the music to this stuff. Because you can't have all hype music, because if you always have hype music, oh, whoops, mouse, bumped my mouse. If you have all hype music, then it doesn't really work. But the double Rax is going down. The probe is now going to be popping and seeing, what? Whoa, where's the barracks? He's going to go and see that it's only a single gas, so knows it's not some kind of cheeky Reaper play. It will be Marines, but now the question is it double or triple Rax that he has to deal with? He is already building a Zealot to be able to distract any sort of Mariners that come up the ramp before a Stalker can get out. Exostriker boldly going where no Protoss has gone before, and that's expand in the face of danger. Just kidding, all Protoss do that. It's actually really smart. If you don't expand in time as a Protoss in anything but PvP, well, really in any matchup, but you can get away with it a bit more in PvP. Toast. So the first Marines are out, and we're going to be marching forward. The two SUVs are ready to slap on down bunkers. The first one goes down. Oh, no. There it is. Okay, the Zealot's going to try and come in to deny it, but the Marines, there are 3 Marines here, and that Zealot is going to have to retreat. Surrendering the bunker now, and this base is going to be here only to distract. It will eventually get cancelled, but this is going to distract the Marines from going. It's actually Adepts that are going to be coming on out here, because they 2-shot Marines, as I believe Stalkers 3-shot them. The Adept, though, in a bit of trouble, as there are a lot of Marines out here. The stutter step is really good. This Adept is going to get 3 Marines for her trouble, however. Excellent control there out of Exostriker. However, now the bunker is down, so the Adept will try and get on those SCVs. They'll repair each other, which will be good. And now it's going to be Stalkers that are coming in. We have an additional gateway and a Robo going down. The Shade will attempt to escape and go away. The Marines, though, yeah, see, there's the cancel. The distraction was enough, but now the Marines say, now's the time to head into the main. The Marine's going to be able to take out the Adept before she gets any kills. Excellent control out of Last Surprise to be able to keep those Marines alive. However, they're in a lot of trouble. That bunker had no hope of completing, and will have to get cancelled here. Shield batteries going right down at the ramp. Going to be the most effective in helping Exo Striker defend against this. Back at home, we see a factory has gone down with a tech lab. Going to be able to get those siege tanks. A starport now going to be going down effectively. This has turned into a 1-base 2-on-1. Last Surprise is looking like he may just abandon this whole scenario, leaving one Marine, the super injured Marine actually, in that bunker. Really good play. Over here, the barracks have not yet lifted off. The Marines are just going to retreat for now to be able to defend them and for when the protest comes to try and track them down and kill them. Stalkers right here now, and with the shield battery canceling one, gonna get rid of that. SCV. And with nice micro, gonna take no losses here. The bunker's gonna get salvaged in that 1 hit point Marine. One Marine with 1 hit point. One is the. But I actually feel better for his chances of survival than these guys. These guys actually recognizing, oh, we don't want to fight that, and the barracks gonna try and escape, but they are found. Estrella just donated $2 to the mainstream to make Swagar drink some eggnog. I forgot to fix that after last game, so please help me to remember after this game, because there's a good chance I forget again. As I apparently am a little off today in my decision making. One of the barracks is burning, the other one is in danger of burning as well. These Marines not looking to save their home where they grew up, gained their reputation and their guns. They say, you know what, nope, we'll let it burn. Both of them are on fire though. Can they get there in time? If he dropped a mule, he might be able to save them. I think will be able to get to the main in time, but will there be anything left in the main? There's a warp prism here and just a singular siege tank. The boys are pulled to help try and defend it, but the siege tank will fall. There is a Viking to try and chase away the warp prism, but there's just so many stalkers on the ground. A second siege tank is now out, but without the Marines here to help, they're just so far out of position. Exo Striker's gonna push through and win the game. GG, Exo Striker takes it 2-1. Okay, let's we'll get rid of alerts and we'll just hide them and deal with the noise, I guess, for now. Okay. Well, congratulations to Exo Striker, who will move on. We'll figure out what our next plan is for the next series. Switch the music for a little bit. Boogie to some Monster Cat. Yeah, Boogie. Move the music bars down a little bit. I fixed them a little bit so they're a bit smoother, but now I find the red side tends to have a bit more. I'm trying to watch for it because I want a little more even on the purple. I'm not 100% sure of how it all works and sort of thing, but that's okay. I got a couple of pings apparently. Vindicta is streaming his play. So guys, if you want to see some first-person view action, Vindicta is rocking and rolling. Found you a match super quick, little Sharky. Aw, thank you. Firefox versus the Zerglord. You gave me a ZVZ. Ayo. Oh well, we'll deal with the sound, it's fine. Everyone loves ZVZ. Yeah, it's true. I actually do love it. But I love all that stuff. Oh yeah, no. I do actually enjoy ZVZ. I find it really fun. But let me switch the music back here. And now, in appropriate fashion, some mischievous music, which we always see in ZVZ. So let's see what we got going. Spawning in the top left side of Nightshade. Going gas pull. We got ourselves a 12 cheeky play. Firefox lighting it up from the start. Oh man, these players know what I love to cast. It's the Red Zerg Firefox. And the player who's going as standard as it gets, playing right into Firefox's hands. It's the Blue Zerg Latam player. It's the Zerg Lord. But lording over Firefox's play, it appears not. Or he's just so confident. I'm not good casting, playing ZVZ. I don't understand the matchup at all. That's why you just gotta do it with me, man. I got you. I'll teach you the way. So, the process of ZVZ is actually pretty straightforward to cast. There are essentially 3 stages. First stage is the Ling Bane stage. It can last anywhere from a minute to 20. Whatever. It can last anything, and you see it's starting super early. The Baneling section of it, it's kind of like the 1.5 point of the first phase. We have the Zerglings moving out now as the Zerg Lord is seeing it, and it's like, oh crap, it's the Ling phase starting extra early. His my spawning pool's not even done, so this base is very likely dead. And that's the point of this. This point is to, at the very least, kill the natural base. But sometimes it's also just to end the game, depending on what you do, if he feels confident enough. The drones are being pulled to be able to deal with it. Ooh, get a nice round, able to trap a couple of Lings. 2 go down instantly for the price of none. The drone pull is actually brilliant out of the Zerg Lord. He isn't mining with them, but is going to be having a rough time. So Zerglings are now out for the Zerg Lord, but speed is about to complete for Firefox, which means he's going to have a huge advantage over the Lings of the Zerg Lord. Banelings are now out too, and these Lings really have to watch their tails. Do Zerglings even have tails? I'm not sure. I think they do. The Banelings, though, trying to get through. A couple of the drones are pulled. The Banelings not actually firing on anything. Now they're able to spurt off on a couple of things, not really killing a lot of the drones. The Baneling trying to move forward, but only going to be able to get a couple of drones for their trouble. Nice target fire here at the Zerg Lord. Brilliant micro to be able to control it. And he's now also controlling his drones to be able to do this. A lot of low point guys over there, but has just lost Lings, and so far only... Okay, he has lost 6 drones, but he's still technically ahead. He is at the number he started with, but he does now have a Spine Crawler, a couple of Queens, and enough things to be able to defend this. He has now only started his own speed, unfortunately, so it's still going to be on the defensive, but he was able to keep his natural due to Firefox not targeting it down first, looking to end the game. That's always a bit more risky because of the brilliance and control that you just saw there. Back at home, he is starting to squeak in a few more drones and get some queens. He is going to keep pressure onto the Zerg Lord here. And so this is the part of the game where it's like you don't actually know how long it will go for. It's kind of whatever player feels ballsy enough to get that Roach Warren first, because then the second phase of the game is usually Roaches. It can be Spire play. It's a bit more risky, but it can pay off a lot. It's all about how surprising you can be to your opponent and how much your opponent is able to just dive the Roaches in, because sometimes it doesn't matter if the other player is gone for mutas. If you have enough Roaches, you can just go and kill everything, because it takes a while for the mutas to kill the Roaches. They eventually do, but you can force the mutas to stay home and defend. So we kind of stabilize here, and now the players have to try and catch the other off guard with their Lings and Banes. But you also have to see how you want to squeak in the drones, because if you over drone and your opponent's not droning, they can just overwhelm you, because we can see right now the larva is going into Lings versus drones. Zerg Lord is thinking that Firefox is not going to be continuing aggression. However, he has sent a Ling out to be able to try and get a read on what's going on. We do see the Zerg Lord prepping to transition into the Roach phase of the game, as he is getting +1 missile attack. That Roach Warren should be coming on down at some point to be able to complete this wall, which will help defend against the Ling Banes that Firefox is going to continue to throw against him. But not as of yet have we seen the Roach Warren go down. The gas income has begun again, and yeah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, completes the wall, gets that second Evo chamber, and so now it's up to Firefox to scout this out. He really just has to dive in, click on the structures, see, oh, it's Roach Plate. Actually, you don't even have to see, you just know. Sometimes it could be a Baneling Nest, but this late, if he hasn't gone to Baneling Nest, it's most likely not going to happen. However, busting time, this is the risky part of going for the Roach Face, because it leaves a window of opportunity for your opponent to get in if they try for a bust like this. There are 3 queens here, though, with transfuses. The Banelings will bust through, the transfuses are good, and the Evolution Chamber does fall, but there is enough queens here with still more transfuse to be able to hold on. The Lings are not going to be able to squeak through. The Spine Crawler is going to be able to do a good job. The Zerglord needs to get his transfuse down. He does. The Lings are starting to fall. The queens don't do a lot of damage. One of the queens will finally fall, but the other 2 still complete the wall. The more and more Lings are flooding across the map. The first Roaches, though, are about to pop as the queens are about to die. So the Roaches now are in a bit of trouble. The +1 attack is about 6/7 of the way completed. The Firefox now has to get some kind of damage done on these drones to make this worth it, or he is pretty much dead, because with +1 attack, Roach is 2-shot Zerglings, and the Zerglings are going to have a bad time. He's going to, Firefox instead, try and continue the Bane bust. This is going to be risky, though, because Roaches tank against that so well. Squeaking in 7 more drones is the Zerglord. Firefox still at 16 back at home. He's barely mining, even if you can call it that. So little is going on. The Banelings are going to start to move forward. The Roaches are here. The Banelings target hit mostly on that front one. The second one on the top will fall, but with +1 attack completed, they will be able to 2-shot, but the Roach Warren falls, and that's going to actually buy Firefox a ton of time. He's still continuing to try and make it work with the Ling Bane. The sniping of the Roach Warren was actually a huge play. The Lings are going to try and come forward and snipe it again. They're so close to it. They're actually going to instead go for the Evolution Chamber, and they're going to be able to get through. The Roaches that were in the production tab before, though, are going to be enough. +2 ranged attack is coming now. Firefox realizes, yeah, no, I can't do anything with the Roaches coming out. GG, and the Zerglord's going to go up 1-0. So I didn't really, the action was just so jam-packed. That's why I actually love ZVZ, because yeah, it's a little boring. It's just Lings against Lings and Roaches against Roaches, but it's so fast-paced, so much action going on. Right. Sorry, Miguel. I, for some reason, didn't see your in-game message till right after that game. But there is a third phase in which you start to transition into different tech. The different ways you can typically go are you can throw back in Banelings if you want. You typically only see that, though, if your opponent is adding Hydras into their mix, because sometimes you'll see the complement to the Roaches be Hydras. It can be Infestors. Usually, though, as from what I've seen lately, it has been Lurkers. You can go Aaron to the whole Broodlord thing, but it's not typical. If you've been sticking on the Lings and Banes, though kind of skipping the Roach phase, you'll typically see them get Ultralisks too, but that's not super common. Usually you add something in like Hydras, Lurkers, and or Infestors. Vipers are super useful as well because of Blinding Cloud, especially if you don't want to also do Lurkers. Well, not even that. No, sorry, I take that back. It's more if they are just going for Lurkers. You see them, or just really anything in general. The Blinding Cloud's super effective and really helpful. But yeah, it's usually that. There are some variations, like I said, with the Spire play and whatnot, but that's typically what it ends up being. Okay, guys, let's flip back into our next game. Here on Ephemeron in the top left, it is the red Zerg player who's going for just the extractor tick, nothing cheeky just yet. But that can always change. It's Firefox! Putting on a ton of pressure, but the man who is able to defend with such ease and grace, pulling the perfect number of drones and controlling them with expert precision. You know he's done it a time or two. From Alpha X Latam Division, the Blue Zerg, the Zerglord. Okay, so both players now comfortably going for a normal expansion. So it's not, as of yet, going to be either player pulling a fast one on the other. We do see the gas for Firefox's Zerglord delaying it just slightly, but really those variations don't really mean a whole lot. It's a matter of seconds, which in ZVZ can be a big deal, but when it comes to the gas, not typically. It's more the tech like the spawning pool or the Roach Warren. In the production side, also, you have to be super careful with your overlords, because the nice thing about your overlords is, since it takes a while for Zerg to get any kind of anti-air other than queens, you can have your overlord spread everywhere around the map to give vision for sneaky Ling run bys, so that you don't get caught by that. But, whoops, if you put your overlord too far forward when the queen spawns, then the queen will be able to snipe it. So this overlord's just going to come in, try and see that the hatch is done, see that, but then you'll see it back up a bit, probably to like around here. And since there's not usually a lot of creep spread in ZVZ, because it's like, oh, but it helps me and gives me vision, but creep also helps your opponent, so with the ability to spread your overlords, typically that's the kind of vision that is gained instead of creep spread. But you have to be careful. So yeah, as we see, the overlords are retreating. This one's staying over here. This one going to be able to see the read on the Zerglord getting the very fast third base, but on the opposite side of the map we do have a very speedy lair. We have a second gas coming on down here. If it's going to be Mutas, no, it's just going to be a really fast Roach speed timing. Because if what you look for when you see that fast kind of a lair, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be this fast Roach with Roach speed play, or it's going to be 2-base Muta. You'll typically see someone like Starkiller doing this. But to check that, you check the natural gases. If the natural gases are taken, you know it's going to be Mutas, because you need that much gas. If they're not, it's the Roach play. So the lair's going to complete about the same time as the Roach Warren, so look for that Roach speed. Now, Firefox, no, I need the Zerglord. So the Zerglord has seen the Roach Warren. He does realize that, and he knows that there's no third base. So he can safely assume what's coming, because, oh! Or it's a Nidus play. I guess I did forget about that. I spaced on that. So we might still see Roach speed on the board, but Nidus, fast Nidus as well. The Wolof has gone down, so a Roach Warren is going down for the Zerglord, and he's got to make sure he has proper vision. There is an Overlord back here, but the Zerglord doesn't currently see it. So this Overlord now will be spotted by these drones. So the Zerglord might be able to check and see what's happening, but this is not going to be in good time. The Queens and the Roaches are loading up into the Nidus, and the Nidus is dropping. The Queen does spot it though, and drones are being pulled to try and help deal with this. There are next to no Zerglings on the map. There's one Zergling on the map for the Zerglord. The Nidus Swarm will fall, will pop though, and the Queens pop out first and will be able to do it. The Zerglord flooding units into the main. The Zerglord's most of his army supply is in the production tab. Drones are falling left and right. For some reason, we forgot to use WSS Game Prep, but that's okay. Lots of them are falling, and now the remaining forces are going to be up here attacking the natural. +1 missile attack is about 6/7 of the way done for the Zerglord, but it might not be enough. He is just so far down in army supply. He is ahead in workers, though, so that is a nice thing. But these Roaches getting caught by the main army of Firefox. Firefox is now going to be dropping a Nidus Worm over here. Is that just an Overlord? Yes, okay, so that's not actually a Nidus Worm. The army is going to look to go into the third base. Preparing for it is the Zerglord, but is he going to be able to snipe it in time? It's going to be super close, and he's not going to risk it for the biscuit. No, he's just going to let it die. Instead, he's going to try and go into the natural, putting his units there and dropping a Nidus Worm at the same time. A nice body block to prevent the Zerglord from getting a nice concave. More of the drones have fallen, but the Zerglord's still technically ahead. The Zerglord now does have an army supply advantage and has enough Roaches with +1 to be able to push forward. That upgrade advantage is going to be huge for the Zerglord, who looked like he's going to stabilize. More Roaches are reinforcing here now for Firefox, though, and the main is still going to be under huge threat right now. Another Nidus Worm is going to be going up into the third base of the Zerglord. Firefox is completely all in at this point. Just Roaches for days. He cannot transition out of this. He is attacking more and more. This Roach force is going to go down. The Zerglord's now going to be slightly behind in army supply. as he continues to push forward. More Roach reinforcements, but the issue is the Roach reinforcements are just so scattered, coming from all the different bases. Firefox is able to reinforce at a singular location, have all of his units in one place at a time. There is a bit of a flank technically here, but with the +1 attack, it looks like Firefox might fall right now, but a lot of the Roaches of the Zerglord are in the red, so a lot of them are gonna fall quickly if the proper target firing happens. It is so dead even. Firefox, Zerglord trading Roaches left and right. However, Zerglord, even though his units are a little scattered, are going to be able to reinforce decently with that defender's slight advantage, even though there are Nidus Worms here, but with a +1 attack. However, he has to reinforce now with Lings. He just doesn't have the money for as many Roaches, and he's going to try and overwhelm. The Roaches now are going to try and go for a few more drone kills. The Zerglord still technically up in workers, but only by 1. He is droning up behind this. Firefox not able to kill his opponent straight out. The Zerglord's control and movement of his units was just too dang good. Losing a lot of drones there, 23 in fact, but he just had the superior economy before that and is able to keep that going. Behind this, Roach speed is now going to be started. No upgrades yet, and some drones are going to be made by Firefox. He's going to continue to build a couple more. Zerglord trying to get a read on things, sneak some Lings into this. He's actually moving his units across the map. This may be a little bit dicey. You might want to pull back, as there's just a lot here for Firefox. Not going to be able to kill that. Kind of splitting his larva between drones and Roaches, having to actually rebuild his queens, so the larva income is not actually as high as he might like. Inside it, there is a single Roach, and things are going to stabilize for now. Zerglord going to retreat to his base for now, and we're going to see how things go from here. Getting +1 Carapace and a lair behind this is the Zerglord. +1 missile attack is being produced now for Firefox. We do have a attempted Ling run by here, trying to deny a third base, but Firefox does just not seem comfortable enough to go for a third base, as he's going to be dropping a Nidus Worm again over here, but spotting it is the Zerglord, and is going to be able to snipe it with his Roaches. That is going to be denied. Ling's just going to chill here and make sure no third base comes online. The Zerglord going to continue to build his advantage. He has stopped droning and it's just going to be building. Roach is going to try and go for a timing attack with that +1 Carapace, maybe even hit slightly before it. We'll see what the call is, but it's just units upon units. Now he's sneaking in a couple more drones, but he's ready to rumble. These Roaches now actually going to be able to catch these Lings, but the Lings going to be able to force a cancel. Ooh, nearly able to get the drone there, and they're going to try and run into the natural, but there are Roaches there guarding it. The third base is going down, but it's so late. A 9-minute third. It's just not going to happen. Overseer going to fly in and make sure that there's nothing cheeky like mutas or anything, which could make life a little more difficult. Seeing everything with all of its eyes, and see that Firefox is in kind of a dire scenario, trying to get drones up, but now look at the supplies. The army supply is just so heavily in favor right now. Roaches are going to be able to come over here to deny the Nidus Worm. Not all of them are going to go. Zerglord hiding how many units he has, splitting his army very wisely. So Nidus Worm does pop up, but is just going to get denied. These Roaches going to retreat, as they're scared of how many units. There are Roaches here patrolling to prevent any kind of Nidus Worm getting up into the main base. And the Zerglord is prepping. He's got his 5 Overlords ready to rumble. +1 Carapace is good. And he's actually droning up, so he's getting Ravagers. I keep saying he's going to go for an attack, which I feel like he could. If he knew how far ahead he was, he could just skull and steamroll through Firefox and win the game right now. But is content to just sit back and wait for now. It looks like he might go for try and go for a maxed out army and just absolutely steamroll through. But it's looking bad for Firefox, guys. Firefox needs some kind of miracle play. He needs the Zerglord to really throw, because I don't really see how he can come back. It just the army advantage, the production advantage, the economic advantage is just so high right now. Right now, the Zerglord doesn't have too much in terms of that obvious income, but the gas is drastic, which means lots of Ravagers have the potential of being made. We only have 4 out on the map right here, but here comes the big attack. The Zerglord's ready to rock and roll. There are Ravagers on either side, so both sides have to be careful. Oh, that bile gonna land actually on the army, but neither side able to get quite a good concave. The Firefox was able to try and position, but the Zerglord able to sneak in enough, and he's, I think, has a superior concave roaches. Battling back and forth, the upgrade advantage is in favor of the Zerglord, so he's going to be able to have some nice plays there. A couple of the Ravagers will get sniped here for the Zerglord. He didn't have slightly enough of a good concave. The Ravager advantage does go to Firefox for the time being, but I imagine Zerglord's going to add in a few more at this point in time. If we look at the production, it is in favor of the Zerglord. He is building more at a time. +2 attack, missile attack will finish slightly ahead for Firefox, but the Zerglord I don't think will get caught in that window. Okay, now it actually I think it finished at the same time or something. We do have Dropper Lord, a singular Dropper Lord, maybe for Ling drops, Baneling drops. Do we even have a Baneling nest? No. We'll see what it's for, but a ton of Ravagers have been added in for the Zerglord, who now will have the Ravager advantage. The Ravager biles are landing on both sides. There is a better concave here for Firefox, but with the upgrade advantage and the superior Ravager amounts and just overall numbers, I think the Zerglord's going to be able to push through. He does. GG, the Zerglord will win 2-0, winning over Firefox. All right, let's check in on our boy Xeno. Oh, StarCraft crashed for me. That's awkward. Well, we'll reopen it so that we can go into another game, but let's take a look at the bracket, see what's going on. Let's see, so Estrella has beaten Dark Unnamed and is now going to be facing off Starkiller, who defeated Rodzen. Antis beat Clear, and now Antis will be facing off against Cuddlebear. Cuddlebear did beat Fox. Art is facing off against Dastan. Asuna was able to beat Paco Mike and is now going to be facing the winner of Art versus Dastan. Vindicta will now be playing against Exo Striker. Zerglord, now winning, will be facing off against the winner of Vindicta versus Exo Striker down in the losers bracket. Xeno is waiting to play his next match, so we'll wait and see where he goes from there. And yeah, we're finally starting to get people in the losers bracket, so that's nice. Miguel, if you're still here, I bet you are good at playing ZVZ. You are a 3.9k random player. You're a boss, man. You're higher than me. You could even show that in a show match against me. Show match. Okay. Sorry. Game crashed. So I'm back. So Estrella versus Starkiller will be what we get to watch next. A spicy matchup. For every Protoss in the losers bracket. Oh, I got invited to a game. Oh, oof. 1, 2 is okay, Snoopy, you're gonna have to tell me how many there are in the losers bracket, because I don't know everyone in there or what their actual, like, their SC2 name is. So I'll need you to tell me. Speaking of drinking, though, I need a drink of water. him back. But yeah, Snoopy. If you let me know how many Protoss are in the losers bracket, I will drink that many maple syrups. My cousin added me on Mario Kart. Yes, good. So guys, Mario Kart for the mobile Mario Kart. I need one more friend to complete a challenge. I need a total of 5 friends. So if any of you who are watching play Mario Kart on your phone, add me, please. I'll post my friend name, friend link. Become friends. Here, I'll post it in the chat right now. Okay, now I have another friend. Okay, so we'll go 9377. You guys, add me. Add me. Guys, add me, and I'll as a joke, in the chat. Alright, so we're actually, this game is going to be casted both in Spanish and in English. Canadian English. Well, just in Canadian, for being honest. Okay. So my prediction for this series is going to be... It's going to be 2-1. See, how well can y'all see this? 2-1 Australia over Starkiller. This is my boogie board. I got it for Christmas. It's not a digital notepad, but it's a notepad that you can write on. It's no paper, and then you just like press this button and what you had in there disappears. And it's super nice because then I don't have to waste a ton of paper doing scrap work for school. Could you say a boot, please? Okay. How about daddy? How about that? Okay. We'll change the music. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boot. Pat Gadate, thank you for joining the stream. But guys, we already have a little banter going on, so let's switch the overlays, get you into the game. We had good luck, have fun, Mr. Max. Good luck, have fun, Miss Starkiller. Starkiller saying, I am your wife, question mark. Straya, not sure about this. But let's introduce our players, shall we? In the top right of Zen. Feeling the power. It's the red Protoss player, Australia! Top 32 players in the world in terms of WCS ranking in 2019. That makes it 7 Protoss in the losers bracket. Oh, goodness gracious. And in the bottom left, with a gas and a pool already going down before a hatch, it's Starkiller. Anything but standard. Mr. Probe, though, is coming in to see what's dancing, what's happening, what's chilling. He sees it. He's gonna distract the drones from mining. Gateway's gonna go down. Australia gonna go Cybercore first, and is doing it at a high count of... Oh, no, because he's immediately... I was like, he's doing it at a higher amount of SCVs, or probes. I mean, but he's getting a Zealot too. That's why. That's where the extra supply was. My way of advancing is in farming walkovers. Amen, brother. Amen. That's how I get through tournaments as well. Farthest I've made it is into the semifinals because my first game series was a walkover, and the second one I actually did win. And that put me to the semis of a tournament. Okay. A little bit of an oversaturation here, a bit of a mistake out of Austria. And oh, the cheeky play, blocking the Lings from getting through here. Is he going to do it here as well? Oh, he's going to cancel that in a bit too, but there is a single Zergling that's going to come and start to try and snipe that probe. But back at home, that's actually going to allow Estrella to be able to get a Adept out much more quickly. Back at home, we do have a Baneling nest. So it's a Bane bust out of Starkiller now, who's sticking at 17 workers, just building units and overlords at this point in the game. The probe dodging things left and right, and now the Adept's going to come and save her baby. But the Zerglings say, screw you, madam. Oh, and another block on the Zen movement. So good. Oh my gosh. Brilliant plays. That is some clever work. Estrella has been figuring out how to use this map effectively. The Lings now have speed, and this Adept is in serious trouble. She's going to try and micro back stutter stepping, but the Lings won't be able to snipe her in time, but that she did get to seriously low health. Where'd she go? Where's she at? Where's she at, though? The Zealot actually sacrificing his life for Ire, getting put out here. Apparently, I am having some lag issues. Apologies to that. I'll have to see if I can figure that out after this game. Sorry about the poor quality there, guys. Sometimes when I cast on my settings, it's great quality, and sometimes I have lag. I don't know why. But here come the Banelings busting through. The Zealot actually holding strong. The force field goes down, allowing only a singular Ling through. Warp Gate is not yet done, though it is 10 seconds away from completing. More Lings are on the way. There are no force fields, but there is a huge pylon wall. The Banelings are going to go through and smash through all of the pylons. The Zerglings are now into the natural. Not all of them are attacking. The probes have to be pulled off the line to help deal with this, but the Zerglings still are getting us around. A Robo is coming, but that's not going to be super useful against all these Lings and Banes. He needs units, he needs gateways. 12 probes have gone down. Estrella says GG, and Starkiller is actually going to take the first game off of this champion. Estrella putting in some hugely clever plays there. Oh my goodness, trying to delay and buy himself as much time as possible, but it just wasn't enough. Estrella not able to actually realize how all-in Starkiller was. He should have predicted it. Starkiller's always all-in. Always, 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 always. Oh, that's not what it should be. Let's make sure everything's at the suggested amount. Yeah, okay, cool. Made sure everything's now at the highest amount. Maybe that's why SOS didn't get the results lately. 200 IQ, not enough. It's not. But guys, let's go into the numbers of that game. Let's pull out our handy dandy blackboard and see what happened. So, in that game, what went wrong? What did Estrella not do correctly? Well, guys, more is greater than less. Those are the numbers in from today's first game of Estrella versus Starkiller. Starkiller had the superior number of units, and more is greater than less. Hi, Canuck, can you invite me to the lobby when it is done, please? Absolutely. Hopefully they don't forget to add us in, but yeah, that's in from Professor Canuck, coming to you live, bringing you the numbers as they happen. So thank you for watching. I gotta get a overlay. I gotta get an overlay for when I do that. You need glasses for writing huge letters on a board? Busted. Yeah, I do. That takes a lot of IQ and skill. These are my high IQ glasses, okay? High IQ glasses. And you know what? You can just deal with it. Oh, whoops. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of StarCraft 2. I'm your host, Captain Canuck, aka the Real Winter Soldier. And, let's hop to it, shall we? In the bottom left here of World of Sleepers, down 1-0. A previous champion of the MVP Cup. Is he gonna get knocked out to the losers bracket already? It's the Red Protoss Astrea! And the man of gimmicks himself. Don't worry, that's an extractor trick. Don't you worry. Oh, no, it's not. Do worry. It's the Blue Zerg Starkiller. Oh, that pan worked way better than it normally does. Going gas pool, because as we all know, you can't not pool a Zerg. But Protoss always have something to say about that. Alright. So Starkiller will be dropping down a hatch now. Okay. Astrea, preparing. Don't you do... Don't... No, don't... Astrea? No. Do you realize who you're playing against, man? Oh my gosh. How confident is this dude? How much toys do I have lying around here? My StarCraft collection, and it's growing. I'm gonna be getting a Marine really soon. Unfortunately, not a plush Marine, but I won. If any of you know the streamer Atira, she makes like those beads that you can pattern and then melt together. She made some Carbot Marines out of those and was giving them away as a Christmas stream gift. And I won one of them. It was sweet. So I'm getting a teal one. That was one. There were 2 regular blue and 1 teal, and I had the choice between a blue or the teal. And the teal's more rare, so I chose the teal. So soon I will have all 3 races cool items. And I also have this awesome Gryffindor scarf. I have sunglasses, nerd glasses, a couple of other doodads and doohickeys and whatchamacallits. But the probe's going to dive in here and see that Starkiller's actually just droning up for the time being. This was kind of a bit of a mind game. But Starkiller now got Zergling speed, but didn't pull the drones off of gas. Why? Because he's going to be going for Mutt-Mutts. I'm calling it right now. That is a classic Starkiller move. We should see these gases taken here pretty dang soon. But Astrea is just going to be continuing his game, going for Robo, not seeing the more standard Stargate that you typically see here in what we do in PvZ. I've been trying to do a lot more Robo play just because I want to get good at it. I'm not that good at it. Oh, that poor Overlord. Oh no, it's not. Okay, I predicted. I just want to see Mutt-Mutts. They're like my favorite unit to use in a Zerg. I love Mutt-Mutts. I love them, but no, it's just going to be a big roach flood, getting another gas to be able to get some Ravagers. But Astrea reading it right, and going to be actually getting a Warp Prism first. Going to allow him to get vision and whatnot on the other side of the map, do some harassment. But he'll need to be getting some Immortals up here pretty dang soon, as Starkiller's nearly at the prime number of drones that he's going to want to use for this. And yep, there we go, 41's magic number. 42 they say is the meaning of life, but 41's the magic number. The real question is 41 a prime number? I'm going to pretend it is. Snoopy, after this game, I'll start my chugging of the maple syrups. But the Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come in and see what's coming. Astrea putting down that 3rd Nexus. I don't know about this one, Kev. But not just sticking on Immortals, is getting the Robotics Bay. Why? Because Disruptors are really good at dealing with really good at dealing with just mass roach, because the roaches, if they get too close, the disruptor comes in and can kill so many. I have saved myself from roach all-ins with a single disruptor hit. Which, when I see this, I need to do what Astrea's doing. He actually has a couple of adepts in this Warp Prism to be able to try and get a little bit of harassment done. But there are roaches here, ready to rumble. Gonna kill one drone and escape. Nice pick off. So down to 40, not going to be replacing it, but the roaches are ready, the lings are reinforcing, the couple of ravagers are out, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 23 roaches out on the field, going to be about 20 lings out. The third base, that zealot's more than dead. He's toast, he's evaporated, and that third base is Dunzo's. A disruptor is going to be coming out now. Going to be going in. Able to snipe one of the Ravagers. Nice dodge, though, on the rest of the units from Starkiller. The Disruptor, though, going to be... Oh, just able to get in to prevent the Lings from just flooding in. The Lings are actually just going to trickle in. Very easily picked off by the rest of the army. And so, actually, a bit of a mistake there from Starkiller. Doing that and going to content himself with killing the Spire, realizing that Astrea's got the tools to defend properly, and is just going to kind of keep him contained for the time being. Putting the Disruptors now in the Warp Prism, a risky play. Just going to contend himself on Sentries and Immortals for any kind of play. The Warp Prism is going to get spotted by Starkiller, so he knows what's coming. Most likely can guess. Behind this, oh, the Disruptor! Oh, baby! Oh my gosh, 10 kills on that one. I have no idea on the other one. Brilliant plays from Astrea, putting the Disruptors just out of range so that the roaches can't jump on them to kill them before they fire off. Nice decisions here out of Astrea, who's going to transition into Colossus and High Templar, as well as getting a Forge and charge behind this. All the tech. But the Spire is going to be super dangerous. Astrea not quite getting the read on this and is not currently going to quite have the units. This Disruptor going to get a couple of kills, but just Lings for now. Starkiller is up on drones and has stopped producing. He is banking up gas and minerals like a madman. Might not have completely the supply he wants as he's building more Lings, but the Spire completes, and soon Mutts will be on the wave. It's going to be stopped at 6 due to the supply block. A bit unfortunate. The third base is now coming back online for Astrea. He is down in supply all across the board, army, workers, and total, because total is the combo of those two. The Colossus aren't going to really be that useful as 11 Mutts are out. Astrea has no idea. He does have an okay amount of Stalkers. He is getting photon cannons behind this, and he's seen it. He's seen the Spire. One of the Disruptors is dead. Did the other one die? No. He was able to save the Warp Prism and one of the Disruptors. So he's gonna have to. He started Blink. Blink's a long ways away from completing, though, and is just gonna be flooding his base with photon cannons. He is gonna be able to have Archons, which are gonna be incredibly helpful with dealing with the Mutalisks. Having saved the Warp Prism, he's gonna be able to micro the Warp Prism and the Archons to be able to move to wherever the Mutalisks are, because the Archons are slow, but the Warp Prism is not. Oh, the clumping up and the Archons are able to get incredible splash damage out onto the Mutalisks. The Mutalisks proving to get no damage on anything effective done at all. The Archons able to chase them away. A really brilliant play from Astrea, able to hide the Archons inside the Warp Prism. Starkiller, unbeknownst, did not get the right read on it and took a lot of damage. We do have Warp Prism speed coming in. The Mutalisks are now going to try and fly back into the main base, but there are shield batteries and cannons everywhere. Going to try and depower everything. Ooh, that Artosis pylon's going to put a bit of a problem in there. The Warp Prism might be able to phase mode and be able to power that stuff, but here comes a huge attack. Zerglings running in. The single Zealot, his life for ire, actually not holding things on quite right, and the Lings are going to flood into the main. There's force fields going down trying to help with things, but with the Zerglings and the Mutalisks, these Archons are in a lot of danger. A lot of Zealots are warped in here to be able to deal with the Zerglings in the main. Not a lot of the Mutalisks are main. The target fire on the Archons was really good. The Disruptor able to get another massive hit. 11 total kills on that baby right now. The Roach is going to now go into the third base and try and get some drone damage, but Starkiller's army is just not equipped to be able to deal with Astrea's. Yeah, the supply was pretty even, but the location and the type of units was just not enough. Astrea, now with +1 attack as well, is going to be facing up against more Lings and Roaches, but with Immortals, Sentries, and Colossus and Archons, it's going to be a good time. These Mutalisks are now going to come in to try and take out the Forge, but it's just 3 of them. And Estrella saying, nah, I don't really even care. Take it out, why don't you? That Roach is going to have a bad time. The Zealot's able to chase it down, and the army is now going to move across the map. There is a bit of a counterattack. Oh, the 3 Mutalisks trying to get some damage done. This Disruptor, the Hero Disruptor, actually in a lot of trouble, but the Blink is going to come down the Disruptor. Oh, just is not able to live. 2 hit points, not enough. Alrighty, guys. So, the Army of Estrella is getting ready to move. There, a couple of hallucinated phoenixes are out. I believe the warp prism was sniped, yes, so no easily reinforceable stuff. The scouting is good enough to see that Estrella wants to reposition before attacking. He's going to hide behind these rocks to be able to snipe a few Lings. There are 3 more Archons being morphed in to be able to tank and deal with those Lings. The hallucinated phoenixes will get taken out, but not before seeing a total just vision of everything. Estrella has the worker lead currently, even though Starkiller does have 4 bases already completed and ready to go, but now Estrella's is complete as well. He's going to be able to start moving things forward. Estrella not quite ready to move forward. He wants to get everything in place. Wants that Colossus range to be done, and +2 attack. He's getting a Warp Prism to be able to reinforce. Getting a couple more Archons is going to start to move out soon, but not if Starkiller attacks him first. The Ravagers are in monumental force. There are 18 Ravagers on the field. Sunk so much gas in them. The Biles are going to be falling everywhere. Estrella's going to have to be so careful. Careful, Colossus. A couple of the Biles are landing, but there's just so much Protoss here that the Biles can't do enough damage. The retreating Biles able to be dodged somewhat at times. Some of them falling, some of them landing, but most of them actually missing. Excellent micro here out of Estrella. A lot of his units are battered and bruised from the amount of Ravagers there. 11 do remain on the field. 7 did fall, but he's going to be replacing those with more Roaches and Ravagers. Oh no, not put on hold position. The Zealot that was warped in to prevent the Lings from getting in moves out of position. A bit of an unfortunate play there. They're going to go for the Forge, but with the Cannon and Zealot, the Lings are not going to be able to get a whole lot done. Starkiller desperately trying to pull some angle, but upgrades-wise, he has not been getting any kinds of attack upgrades and is just going to be more and more behind with +3 on the way and just the superior armor. The Ravager count is up to 22. It is a very smart play. This is the very clever maneuver out of Starkiller. Estrella is maxed and is starting to bank up money. Starkiller, I think that's the best way to do it. He's up to 25 Ravagers at this point. Estrella still not quite comfortable to move out just yet. He's gonna just sit tight, hang out at home, split his army, and let Starkiller try and do something. He's giving Starkiller so much time, but Starkiller on still yet an inferior economy. Estrella just continuing to press his advantage. There's not a whole lot we can do, and now we have an engagement. Estrella starting to move in position. The Ravagers trying to zone things out, but with the Guardian Shields and that amount of Archons, what are you going to do? Biles falling like rain in the middle of monsoon season in the Philippines. I don't. Estrella has to be so careful. I honestly think he needs more Disruptors, and that he agrees with me. He's starting to build some back at home. Some Disruptors to be able to also zone out the army of Starkiller and prevent it from pushing forward. But now Estrella is attacking onto the 3rd base. Force fields going down. Biles just narrowly missing the army. More force fields are going to go down to be able to zone things out. Estrella now again attacking and attacking. The Zealots have ravaged the mineral line. The base is all that's left. Nothing doing in terms of mining. There is a Zealot run by over onto the 4th base as well that's killing more and more workers. The Ravager count has severely fallen. Lost 12 so far. Roaches are being put into reinforce, but what can they do against this death ball of Protoss units? Ravager Biles falling more and more, but not able to connect. Estrella, his patience and his carefulness is just on top of it. The Zealots not taken care of and are able to actually take out not just the drones, but also the base itself. Starkiller says GG, and he's going to leave saying, it's time to go. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, guys. I will be right back. Have to go. Actually, no. I'll just text. Okay, we're going into game number 3 here. Estrella with impeccable patience. Starkiller with, I think, the best play he could have made with all those Ravagers, but not a whole lot you're going to be able to do there. We'll see if Starkiller can pull up something different to try and defeat Estrella in game 3. But Estrella is just so good. Alrighty. Switch the overlay. Okay, let's introduce the players. In the top left of Triton, it's the red Protoss player. From America, it's Estrella. In the bottom right, going for a similar style build so far, what it's looking like as game 2, but so far no hatch. It's Starkiller. So no kind of cannon rush or anything out of Estrella, just doing normal. Scouting sees no hatch just yet, but does see the drone and is ready to try and block the drone. Just gonna go sit to the side. Estrella trying to psych him out. The drone's gonna hit him and then plop on down. The probe needs to go and see what's coming though, so that Estrella can be prepared and ready to go. The probe though, gonna just hide over here for now and see what's coming. And just going to chill in the corner. We'll see if Starkiller notices that it hasn't left and sees if he prepares for it. If the probe is left here and forgotten, Estrella might be able to drop some kind of proxy pylon. And, oh man, is that? That looks open to me. I don't know about you guys, but it looks open to me. Starkiller, oh, he's scouting for some kind of proxy actually. Where's this Ling being told to go? So Ling gonna scout it? Oh no, okay, the probe's not gonna stay hidden. He's just gonna go and scout and see what's going on. So he sees that there's very little gas mining, so he's gonna feel somewhat comfortable about what's happening here. There are gonna be some Lings on the production tab that are gonna try and see what's happening. Estrella though not completing the wall just yet. Gonna drop a Robo Bay first, back in the main base. Going for Robo yet again. Feeling that's the best defensive way to do things. The little hit squad of Zerglings, just 8 of them. Gonna go across, see if they can get anything done, but it's not any kind of commitment that you have to worry about. There is, after the third base goes down, a lair being positioned. Okay, so that is open. It's just, that's a cool way of doing it. The Lings are going to actually try and get a cancel on this gateway, and they will, but the wall will stay completed. And I think Estrella is just going to keep it that way, rather than canceling that and putting a gateway again there. The Lings are going to come back in. That is a nice little bit of damage, making something out of nothing. Never a bad idea. Never a bad idea. And it's going to be Spire, actually. Okay. So the natural gases, I feel, are a little late for what you'd normally see in Spire. And the Spire being put in a natural. So Estrella going to try and see what he can get done. He's sending out the Warp Prism with 2 Adepts. The 2 Adepts is nice because it allows you to one-shot the workers. And Estrella kind of just contained for now, sitting content and happy here. Not looking like he's getting a 3rd base just yet. Might be going for some kind of 2-base push. The Adept's now going to go in, shading in, followed by the Warp Prism. A really cool play. The Adepts are going to be able to see both the gases and the Spire. Going to start with 2 probes, drones, and getting 4 actually. They can go in the distance and getting a little bit more. Let's see what else they can get. Oh, whoops. I didn't have the right thing selected. They're able to get a 5th. Now going to move into the main. Get 1 more. 2 more, and one of the Adepts does go down, and a recall will happen. The Warp Prism getting dangerously low on hit points at 27. But 7 drones do go down. That'll put Estrella up in terms of the worker count. Estrella getting the double Stargate and getting +1 air attack. The mutas are out, or at least they're on the production tab. They're about to pop out, but with the double Stargate going down, Estrella is going to be in a really good position to move forward. After the initial Mutalisks are out, they were going to go back to droning and getting a Roach Warren. The Lings, no, there hasn't been any read, but it's safe to assume what's coming, as both these players know each other well enough and have seen enough of each other's games to know what is coming. So Estrella is going to be moving into a bit more of a Stargate play. Since he's getting the +1 attack, it looks like he'll want to move into a more Stargate-based play, potentially get either some Void Rays or some carriers after the 3rd base gets dropped. It's getting a Templar Archives and a Forge behind this. But the Mutalisks over here are trying to get some damage done. The Phoenixes are going to be able to snipe them easily, as there's already 4. The 2 Adepts over here able to snipe 4 more drones and deny all the mining at the 3rd base. The Queen over here isn't going to be able to do a whole lot, as both of armies will try and attack each other very slowly. The Lings come back in retreat to be able to help deal with this, but now it's going to be a huge Roach Flood. This is kind of Starkiller's last bid for dominance. The 3rd base is being put on down right now, and charge is being started. +1 air attack is about to complete. The Phoenixes, though, are in a high enough count. They are at a count of 7. And they're going to be able to start to do damage. The Phoenixes will see the Roaches and are just going to fly around and snipe as many as they can. The army of Estrella is 30 supply less than the army of Starkiller. Though Starkiller is now supply blocked and it's going to be having a hard time. There are 2 Immortals, but not a whole lot on the ground to deal with these Lings. These Lings may be able to do enough damage. The Phoenixes, though, are going to have a very easy time keeping an eye on this army. They're just going to continue to snipe reinforcements, but the army of Starkiller is going to start to move to the 3rd base here very securely. The Ravagers are being built now. 8 actually. That's, but there are so many Phoenixes out right now that it's just going to really have to be dealing with the Lings. The 3rd base is now going to be under fire. The Phoenixes are dealing with the Roaches and the Ravagers. The 3rd base just gets cancelled. Estrella doesn't even want to try and deal with that. The Biles are going to miss the Phoenixes. Nearly all of the Ravagers are getting sniped now. Brilliant control out of Estrella here. A couple of the Biles are going to hit, but it's not going to be enough. Nearly all of the Ravagers have been sniped at this point. The rest of the army of Starkiller is now going to start to move. He's getting a Hydralisk Den and drones behind this. Force fields go off, preventing the army from getting in. The Phoenixes are going to continue to be able to pick off and kill more and more and more of the Roaches. The Roaches aren't going to be able to do anything. More and more Phoenixes are being built behind this. Phoenix is able to keep an eye on this. They just all have so much energy. Pretty much all of the roaches have died. But the Hydralisk transition is happening. Starkiller, the advantage is that he is on 3 bases and Estrella's on 2, but Estrella's going to try and get that 3rd base again. He has enough units now to be able to deal with these Zerglings. The force field's able to trap them in so that it's just a bloodbath with the Zealots. All of the Lings will die. Starkiller is now heavily down in supply. He is down 50 army supply, you guys, and Estrella has upgrades. I think Estrella smells blood in the water. He's going to start to move across the map. He's now sniping overlords and picking off drones. The Phoenixes have such a high count. There are 15 of them. The Lings are going to try and attack the 3rd base here. There might be a couple of Zealots. Yeah, Zealots are going to be warped in, but here comes the army of Estrella. He is moving out across the map, and what can Starkiller do? He's at 30 supply and can't really do a whole lot. His army is now going to start to move here. The Phoenix is covering any kind of reinforcements coming down. There's enough army here to deal with anything over here. The Phoenix is now going to come in and pick up all the Hydralisks here at the 3rd base. There are 3 Hydralisks moving in from the natural. And are now just killing everything. Guys, the game is over. I don't see anything happening. Starkiller is now about to die. Estrella just picking up everything with his Phoenixes and killing it. The rest of Estrella's army is not yet here. So now he's just going to move in. There are a few Hydralisks here. There are 7 Hydralisks, but they can't beat that. Guys, Estrella's done it. He's beaten Starkiller. My prediction of Estrella winning 2-1 was correct. And this is actually going to have to be the last game for me, guys. I'm being pulled away. GG. Xeno was supposed to be here by this point. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, but apparently Xeno is not knocked out yet. He is able to be alive, so it's really awkward. I didn't know that until yesterday, so I have to go. If anyone would like to continue this before Xeno gets here, please do, but sorry guys, I have to go. Bye.